Hello and welcome everyone. In today's video, what we're going to do is fill out an actual request for proposal that you can find through the RFP section inside of DIBBS. The reason why we're going to do this is because the submission of any RFP is far different than how you would typically fill it out with an RFQ inside of DIBBS. So we're going to show you exactly how to fill out the form, ensure that you don't miss any specific sections, and exactly how to upload it to make sure it gets to the right individual that determines who's going to be awarded this contract. And before I get started, if you haven't already, please do like this video and do subscribe to this channel, as each week what we do is provide you additional information to help you get just that much closer to winning your first government contract. We go over certain things such as the DIBBS system in this video, show you exactly how to do packaging, whether it's commercial packaging or military standard packaging, document review, whatever it might be. Our goal is to help you win your first award and make sure that you complete it in full. Now, going back to what we're going to go over today. Typically, most of the people that are filling out system will go under the RFQ section. Now, in the previous video, we talked about RFPs. RFPs is an area that I'm finding many people didn't know exists, which means that there are less people bidding on these contracts, meaning possible more opportunities for you. So if you haven't already seen the video on RFPs, please look at the other video that goes over where to find it, how to fill it out, or excuse me, how to identify certain items that are available and be able to start the process through RFPs. Now, if we are ready to now fill out the form, we would do something such as this. We click on the RFP section, we go to where it says NSN, and I've already created a demo version of this. So we're going to type in that FSC, and we're going to find the opportunity that's here. Now, what this is doing right now in the RFP section, it's looking at part numbers NSN numbers that start with the 5305. They're showing there are 206 opportunities that are there. That's a lot less than RFQs, which is going to show over 1,200 as of today, July 3rd, 2024. But again, still 206 opportunities that if you're not filling out and not completing, you're missing out on potential wins, right? So what I've already done is I've already taken the time to fill out an RFP and am going to submit it. So I'm going to walk you through that. I do have a demo version, so it's not going to go over the exact numbers that I'll be using, but this is what the request for proposal would look like. What I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the sections that you should be aware of to make sure that you're not missing any potential areas that are needed in order to be looked at as winning this specific award. All right. So this one right here, obviously we need to know exactly what is the solicitation number. It's always good to know exactly what the request, the PR number is as well too. You can scroll down, and now here are the areas that I'm going to fill out. Now there's multiple ways that you can do it. The way that I did it is I just went to, I'm using Adobe Acrobat. I just went to all tools, I went to the edit section, and then I just added specific text. If you find it better just to print it out and you fill it out by hand, more power to you. I just want to save 39 pages of printed paper, but you can do it that way. Or maybe you want to fill it out via iPad, right? As long as your end document that you submit has every area filled out, you're good to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the areas that we find are most important to fill out to make sure that you are going to be considered for this bid. Right? So what I've done is I'm scrolling down to this section. Now it says quoter must also complete the following. Quotation is valid for 90 days from the date specified or otherwise indicated. So if I need to, if I want to do this for 60 days as opposed to 90 or maybe 120 days, do that. You would write down exactly what you need here, but I'm content with having it as 90 days, so nothing that I need to fill out. When prices are going to be quoted, they're from me, I am the customer, so I'm going to have that, X that out, and I'm going to write down the name of our company. Our company is Mend Sourcing Solutions, so I would write that down. For the FOB section, I need to make sure I'm choosing the right item of the FOB. So typically what I would do is I would just scroll down to the first CLIN. So I'm going to scroll down to the first CLIN, and I'm going to look at This is the first clan, and I'm going to look at where their FOB origin is. I just like to keep it the same as the contract. I can change it, but why change it? Much better to do it this way. So it said origin, so in here I would make sure that I check off origin, right? Done that. And then I'm going to put the shipping point. Where are we going to ship this item from? Now, if you are the one that's going to be doing the shipping and you're going to be shipping it from your location, you would put your address. If you have a packaging house that's going to do the shipping for you and you want it to go from that location to its end destination, you would put their address there, right? And also, how long is it going to take you to actually complete this delivery? In my case, talking with the manufacturer, it's going to take 41 weeks, a little bit longer actually. So to be safe, I'm saying 400 days. Also, I don't have a fax number, so I never complete this, right? I do put exactly what my number is. I have redacted that. I would also put what my email is. So my email is tristan@mendsourcing.com. So I'd write that there. I would then scroll down to this section over here. So this section right here. And I need to fill this all out right here. Okay. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down who the name of the quoter is, which is us, Mend Sourcing Solution. I'm going to write in what my cage number is, which is 8 Hotel Uniform 7. What my street address is, what county I'm in, what city I'm in, what state, and what zip code. Also, I'm going to write down right here what my name is. So I print that here. What my title is, I'm the Managing Director of Mend Sourcing. I would then put my area code and my phone number here. Okay, so I would do all of that. Also, once I'm ready to sign, I'm going to sign it here, and I'm going to put the date of when this quotation starts. You would put that information there. And then you would just, a lot of this stuff is boilerplate, meaning that you see it repetitively on each contract. So the more RFPs that you do, the easier it will be to identify what you need to fill out and what you can skip and so forth. But in this case, since it's an RFP, I know that this is going to be a long-term agreement. So the stipulations of this long-term agreement is that the part that I'm going to provide, there's a minimum delivery quantity of 20. So the government is on the hook to buy at least 20 items from me. And the maximum that they can order from me is 114. So I know exactly that's where it's going to be. Estimated is going to tell you what they believe the amount of items that they're going to need for the year. That's not a guarantee, it's an estimation. So I usually take it from the range of 20 to 114. Is it good to hold them? Is it good to buy them all? You know, maybe just have them spaced out, whatever it might be. But you're running the risk that you are on the hook for 114, but the government is only on the hook for 20, right? Other information that we want to be able to see here is if we scroll down, going here, it's saying that they're requesting that the first line item, which is here, needs to be delivered within 402 days. Now going back up to what I said, up right here, I said that I can deliver this within 400 days, right? So that's below what they're needed, which is good for them, and that's what they're wanting, right? So I would do that. Also, we have a base period. So for the first year, what is my price going to be, right? So I would write in this redacted area, I'm going to write down exactly what my price to the government, my bid is going to be. Then also, they do, and we do as well, have the option of having the contract extend from today's year to next year, the following year, up to 5 years. And if that's the case, what would my price be for those specific years? Now, a lot of people like to keep it the same price for 5 years. I find it better just to have it a little bit more expensive because the purchasing power of your money is less each year, right? Who knows exactly what the raw material cost is going to be. So I like to increase my price from years 2 to 5 of about 5% from my base year, right? And then also for CLIN number 2, we have right here, right? Whatever that item is right there, I have a price here, and I'm going to have a price here. So I'm going to fill out exactly what that is. Now, this proposal that I'm filling out right now is a little bit different than the ones you're typically going to see. You're seeing this thing right here that says surge quantity, but the NSNs are exactly the same. So surge pricing is saying if the government is needing X amount of items much quicker than a typical delivery time, what price would it take for us to ensure that we get them the amount of items that they need as soon as they possibly can? So obviously, because we're going to be throwing more money at it, the goal is that they'd be able to get the items that they're wanting. So can we do that? Well, in our case, we can. We've spoken to the manufacturer. So we have a new price that if they're wanting them much quicker than what we would typically agree on, there's a new price that they would have to pay for those items. A little bit different than what you would typically see. But anytime you see surge, know that that's saying, hey, if the government is needing it quicker, how many can you provide and what would the price be? Also, too, when it comes to your delivery, what we need to do is you want to write down exactly how many days it would take you to deliver the items. We're talking about the CLIN number 1 here. This number right here, 400 days, I wrote in, and it must match this up here, which is telling them provide best possible delivery of 400 days. So 400 here and 400 here. Also, I need to fill out exactly where are these items going to be inspected. Now, since it's inspection origin, meaning it's at the location here, not the destination of the end delivery, I need to write down the cage code of where is the government going to inspect these items. Now, our company, what we do is we have everything in-house. We do the inspection and acceptance at our location, plus we package all the material in-house as well too. So both the inspection of the items and the inspection of the packaging all happens at our location. So we write that here. If it's at a packaging house or whatever, you would write in their cage code here. Now, also what you need to do is you need to tell the government, okay, where are these parts coming from? Who is the manufacturer? So write down the manufacturer's name and also what their cage code is. Also, what is the specific part that you're offering? You want to write down the part number here. Obviously, you want to read all of this information. Like this right here, it says that the traceability is going to be required. So they will ask if we are on the short list of possibly winning the award. The government's going to come back and ask us to provide traceability, proving that we can provide the part from the manufacturer. Also, what they care about, so relative importance and trade-offs. This contract is saying that it is approximately equal the cost of the item and when you can provide the item, right? So it's not necessarily going to be the cheapest price going to win. It could potentially be a mix between price and delivery date. Also, what they're going to do is what are some of the past performance evaluations? Or they're going to look at your SPURS assessment. So for many of you out there that don't have any government contracts at all, your SPURS assessment score is 0. That's why it's so important to win your first award and keep trying to bid and bid and bid until you do win. You need to earn that credibility because they look at your SPURS assessment score. It's 0 out of 100, and the higher you are, that's just showing that you actually do what you say that you're going to do. It just shows, it's their confidence level in you being able to provide the parts as a vendor. Don't need to fill out that, but that's important to know. Also, what we need to do here, so this, it says quotes in response to the solicitation may be submitted by the following methods. You can either upload the proposal to the to DIBBS, or you can email it to this individual right here. I personally like to do both. I think that that's the best way to do it. I'm going to let Kimberly know at the end, hey Kimberly, we just submitted this, here's our information, hope to hear from you soon, right? Just trying to connect some way, shape, or form with the buyer of this item. So keep scrolling down, right? Now it's going to go into what you would typically see on an RFQ. It's going to show you the supply information, it's going to show the description, so this is a screw, right? All the boilerplate stuff, sampling information, and so forth. And then we get down to the line items. So in line item number 1, what I would do then is I would fill out this right here. So for unit price, the same unit price that I put up at the top, I'm going to put here, and also the amount. Right? So I put that information. Same thing, scrolling down for a line item number 2. Oh, sorry, it's terrible. But line item number 2, I'd write that information down. Now, that's for the majority, the bulk of what you need in order to fill it out. Make sure that you sign it and then submit it. But many times, people just end it there and they don't go through all from pages 10 on to page 39 because it's just a lot of information. So what information do you need and what information do you have to fill out and so forth, right? So to make sure that you're a step ahead, because you'll have some contracting officers that'll reach out to you and say, hey, you haven't filled this out, please fill this out. Others just completely dismiss you altogether. So it's better to fill out this information before. So what I would do then is I would scroll down, and all I'm looking for is brackets, like parenthesis brackets, like the brackets, because it's going to ask you specific questions that you have to give answers to. I've already taken the time and gone through everything. It is important that you read the entire contract 100%, but just for the purpose of this video, I'm going to scroll down and show you some of the areas. So I would scroll down, continue to scroll down. Again, a ton of information. Very important that you read this all. Typically, the information that you need to provide is found under section K. This is just asking more information about your organization itself, the certificates that you have, any statements that you have. So section K is all about representation. So it gives you exactly what all of the information they're going to be asking you, and then it's going to ask you specific questions. So scrolling down even further, right here. So right here. So I'm looking for these brackets right here. So those brackets right here throughout the whole contract, even if you want to do Control F and find those brackets, that's what you need to fill out. So this one's saying is the offeror represents that it has or does not have an immediate owner. We don't, so I would put an X here. Skip it, move down. Don't need to fill this out because I do not have immediate owner. Keep scrolling down, keep scrolling down. And again, you need to fill out this information. It's a little bit more nuanced, a little bit more complex, but just think about how many people will not take the time to fill this out, right? Continue to scroll down, and we get to this section. So now it's saying that the offer represents as part of its offer that it is or it is not a small business concern. So our company is a small business, so we would then check off that it is. And then we have to tell them exactly, well, what type of small business are we? Well, we are not a small business joint venture, so I put the X there. Going further down, the offer represents as part of its offer that it is not a woman-owned small business, which we are not. Right? The offer represents that as part of its offer that it is not a joint venture, which we are not. So I'd write not. Economically disadvantaged women-owned small business, obviously I am not, so I'm going to tell them there that I am not, so I'm going to X that out for it is not. Veteran-owned small business, our company is, so the offer represents as part of its offer that it is a veteran-owned small business. And we are a SDVOSB, so part of the offer, it is an SDVOSB. We are not an SDVOSB small joint venture. Right? Hub zone, we are not a hub zone, so I put not. I'd fill out that it is not a hub zone joint venture as well too. And it's just these little nuanced items. Again, looking for the brackets and then saying, is this applicable or is it not applicable to me? After that, I'm scanning this whole document, reading through it. Again, maybe Control F, finding the brackets that are there and seeing if it's something that I need. So you can always identify the areas that you need to fill out through those left and right brackets that are here. Not the parentheses, but the actual brackets. Now, once you're done with all this and everything is filled out, what we're going to do now is we're going to upload the document. So what I've already done, I'll show the real one now. So this is the real one that I always do at the end is I need to e-sign. So I'm going to now e-sign, put my signature here. Also what I'm going to do, text, I'm going to write in the date. So today is the 3rd of July. And then after that, I'm going to save as. So save it here. So I'm going to say it's signed. Now I have it ready to go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to DIBBS, right, and find that specific item or that request for quote, which is here. And this is the item right here. So now I'm going to upload my offer. What you want to do is you want to click on where it says offer. So now what I'm going to write down, so it's a little bit different than what you would do. You need to upload your offer instead of filling out a form. So I'm going to say mend sourcing offer. Right there, choose the file, sign document, then I'm going to upload the item. I forgot it contains the offer. So I'm going to say that it contains the offer right there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to submit that offer. All right, so here it's showing right here that I uploaded it on the specific date. It says that it's the men sourcing offer. Here's the document itself, contains the offer. This is the person that submitted it. Now I'm going to submit. Do you want to submit these documents? Yes, I do. And it'll show that this offer has been successfully submitted. So this offer now has been submitted just like you would have done by filling out the form through the bid board on the RFQ section, but we uploaded the document. So this is a little bit more complex, a little bit more detailed, but again, you're competing with a lot less people. So the amount of offers that they get has to be significantly lower because the barriers to entry are much higher. One of those barriers to entry being time. Okay? So with that being said, I hope this video helps and helps you get to a point where you can start doing RFPs, and the RFPs are going to help you win more awards. So start now, bid on those RFPs because you have all the information you need to fill out. Again, my name is Tristan Thomas with Mend Sourcing. Again, if you haven't, please do subscribe to this channel and be on the lookout for our next video next week.